So today we're going to be taking a look at Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2 with various settings on an RTX 4090. We're going to be starting off with 1080p with ray tracing. I'm just going to go over the settings real quick. So 1080p, we're playing in windowed because I'm playing it on a 4K monitor. And then we've got basically the Epic preset with native resolution at 1080p. We've got FXAA, so we're not using any resolution scaling, and then basically we're using Lumen on high, so all the ray tracing that we can use, and then we're going to go into a game and see what FPS we can get. Let's go. We're currently in lobby. You can see we're getting like just under 90 FPS. It's actually not that great, and we are using the DX12 version of all the ray tracing, so I'm expecting to see a lot of stuttering, and then once we land on the actual map, we're going to start counting the FPS. We're getting quite a few FPS in the bus, but I'm expecting it to drop a fair bit. I'm expecting there to be a lot of hitches once we reach the ground as well, so let's take a look. So far it isn't too bad. We're getting 100 FPS. We're not landed yet. There's a few people about, but I want to actually see what it's like when we get into combat. But for the most part, it's not too bad. Again, 1080p is not the most demanding resolution, but we are using ray tracing. We are using the highest settings, so I guess we just get like a baseline idea, and then we can see how it scales out from there. I've actually not played this in a while, so I might not do it great, but we'll see how long we can survive. And then once we die, we'll switch it to a high resolution and check that out. Actually got a kill, nice. It's not lagging too much as well. It's not too stuttery. But again, we are 1080p. I'm expecting it to start lagging a little bit in high resolutions, even with the 4090, because it's just not great with Lumen. This season has not been the most optimized season. Where's this guy? Nice, we actually got one. Oh yeah, sniper for us. Okay, I'm gonna run to the center of the map, see if the FPS drops much, but at the minute, it is kind of stable around 100 FPS. I'm gonna start counting FPS now because now the shaders should have been compiled and the map should have mostly loaded in. So if we get any hitches, it's a fair game at this point. So this is a couple of minutes of the game. So yeah, let's see. That was close. Honestly, the 1% lows are not that great at 1080p. I mean, they are above 60, which is nice, and it's not stuttering at all. I was expecting a little bit better from 4090. Okay, well, that was 1080p. Okay, next up we're looking at 1440p. I'm not changing any of the settings, so we're still on Lumen on Epic, and we're still using ray trace. I'm expecting there to be a slightly more stuttery experience once we land on the ground and stuff, since it's a slightly higher resolution and slightly lower FPS as well, but we'll see that once we get to the ground. I'm gonna start counting the FPS right here. But we can already see it's a slightly less reliable experience. We are dipping under 50 even with the status, so it's not terrible just yet. You know, we are using an overpowered GPU for this, but it is not fantastic. It is staying above 60, which is good, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to 4K at this rate. It's actually moved to a different area now, but you can see that the FPS is still dipping under 50, which is not ideal. Like, it's not a terrible experience, it's just not that great, to be honest. Yeah. We're just gonna go get involved, I think. I'm gonna find over there. I see him, I see him. Oh, that's quite far. Wait, can I pop? I cracked him, let's go. Oh, someone up there. Let's go get him. It's not a terrible experience. I mean, I feel like I'm averaging a little bit over 80. I mean, it seems like because of the 1% lows, but that's pretty smooth and responsive. He's not stuttering too much. I do think we will stutter when we get to 4K, but we'll see. Yes, we got him! That was scuff. I'm not that good at this game. God damn it. If someone wants to carry me for the next benchmark, I would highly appreciate it. Just drop a comment down below. Please carry me in this game. I am not good. I've got some good shit from like the first few seasons. I used to play this a lot, but yeah, I've not visited Fortnite in a while, so please carry me. You know what, though? We're still alive. I'll take it. I mean, the averages are not great. I was hoping they'd be above... I mean, the average is fine. It's the 1% low. I was hoping it'd be above 60, but it's, you know, it's fine. Obviously, it goes without saying that if you're playing this game without using DLSS and you have a 20 series plus GPU, then I would highly recommend considering DLSS, because it does look incredible in this game, and it does boost your performance massively. So, yeah, make sure to consider DLSS. God damn it! I tried. We've got what we needed. We've got averages of 83 and 1% lows of 55. Let's move on to 4K. Okay, next up we're going to be trying 4K with the exact same settings, so I'm not going to change anything. We leave in Lumen on Epic with ray tracing, and we're going to see how that gets on. I'm expecting there to be a somewhat stutter experience, but we have played like 3 games so far, so I'm expecting it to be less severe than if you just put it for the first time and went with 4K. But yeah, I'm curious to see what we're going to do, or how we're going to do, and then we're going to move to like DLSS after, and I'm going to show you my preferred high-end optimized settings, so we still get like nice visuals and good performance. But yeah, let's get into the native 4K without any upscaling first. Okay, we're starting to count FPS in the air, so we'll see if it starts. When you drop down, we see the 1% lows as bad as I'm expecting them to be. But so far it's not looking too bad. We're getting above 60, which I was expecting it to be at. I know our 4080 Super drops below 50 a lot of the time, so I'm hoping it'll stay under 60 a little bit more. But we'll see. So far it's actually dropping a fair bit. Okay, we didn't survive long. To be honest, it's not ideal. It is dropping below 30 with 1% lows, but what we are going to do, instead of searching for a new game, we are just going to spectate and see what performance we can get. It's just very hard playing with low FPS in a very sweaty competitive game like Fortnite, so we're just going to watch a bunch of random people and see what we can get. It's not looking too promising though. We can see that 1% lows are below 30, which is just not great. I know the 4080 Super was consistently under 50, but we are kind of in the same zone, which is not ideal. We're using an i9 4900K as well, and the test I was watching was on a 7800 X3D, so maybe that CPU performs a little bit better in this game, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's gonna jump between some players, so it might drop quite severely under 30 due to it loaded different parts on the map and stuff, but yeah, it's a stress test, so I mean the game is looking quite pretty, to be honest, and I mean, as much as I wouldn't play in native, I understand why it's so demanding. In fact, what we might do is, whilst we're spectating someone, since it's quite early game and I died quite early on, we can probably just change the settings on the fly and see how big the difference is. So first of all, we're gonna go into the upscaling and we're gonna put it on DLSS. We're gonna set that to quality, which is 66% of 4K or around sort of 1600p. And let's have a look how that performs. So let's apply this. Let's back out into the game. Let's start a benchmark right here. We're gonna try and avoid jumping between people, because I feel like the 1% loss is gonna be a lot lower than, you know, in reality they are if you're just playing on your own. So we're just gonna stay on this person for a little bit, see how they do. And you can see the FPS is a little bit better. It's not amazing. It's not, you know, that much higher, but a healthy boost around 30 FPS is still very decent. And considering the fact that DLSS in this game looks absolutely incredible, and I think you should use it at basically any resolution, because it actually introduces quite nice anti-aliasing, because it obviously uses AI to enhance the image, and it looks borderline native. There's very minute differences between this and native resolution, but honestly, I would just turn it on and not think about it twice. You can see that it can still kind of dip below 60 with the 1% lows, but for the most part, you are going to average above that 70 mark, which is quite nice. Granted, this is not the most demanding area of the game, but I still think it performs fairly well. We're going to probably let it run for another 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to check back in. And then after that, we're going to go into a new game with my sort of recommended settings that I would use. With DX12, it's still a viable option, DX12. But obviously, if you're on lower end hardware, I would just switch on DLX11, you know, go in performance mode and not think about it twice. But yeah, let's check back in a few minutes. Okay, we've been watching this person for a little while now, for a couple of minutes, and the FPS has stabilized quite well. I mean, the average is around 80, but I do see dip below 70 a fair bit. The 1% lows are actually not that bad once you play a couple of games and all the shaders have compiled and the textures have loaded in. The status do go away, so we are just under that 60 FPS mark, which is it's a great shame. But it's not awful, honestly. It is playable. Again, this is with DLSS quality, and we can get it up a little bit higher, so that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to use my optimized settings. Okay, just a quick look at the settings that I normally run with this game. Again, these are for like high-end GPUs, so think like 4070 Ti upwards. If you want a high refresh rate experience, I usually average like 165 plus. I do have a 165 Hz monitor with this, so these are the perfect settings that work for me. But if you're on like a lower end GPU and you don't mind like looking at on like 120, like a 4070, maybe 4070 Super, 4070 Ti Super could get away with it. But essentially, you want to put it on DX12, and I actually put it on a DLSS balance because it does look really, really good at that resolution anyway. You can even go in performance, and it will still look great. Not as sharp as balance or quality, but it will still look quite decent. Performance renders natively at 1080p. And we are keeping the Epic preset without nanite. So essentially we switch off nanite, which switches off the Lumen implementation, which is fine, and then we have ray tracing off as well. Other than that, all the other settings are the same, so you're missing on ray tracing, but honestly you won't be able to tell the difference, and I'll prove it in a second. So we're going to land on the ground and then we'll take it from there. Okay, we're going to suck out an FPS in the bus, so the 1% lows are not going to be that great, but that's fine because we want to measure the whole experience. The average is the stat that matters the most to us, so we're going to drop in the middle of the map a little bit, more of a busy area, so we might not survive for too long. If that's the case, we're just going to spectate. I do apologize for my lack of skill in this game, but again, if you guys want to carry me in this game, if you're watching this video and you're like, yes, I'm great at Fortnite, I would love to carry you to a dub, let me know. Drop a comment, add me. You can see the averages are great. Honestly, I think this is a great experience. We almost entirely locked at 165, which is great for my monitor. So this is a great experience for me, but it does dip a little bit under that mark. Either way, it's a great high refresh rate experience. Oh, come on, man. I suck at this game. I do apologize, guys, but we're going to carry on with just spectating and just going to see what FPS we can get. This little sweat. All right, we're just going to get spectate. We're going to go to the next player. I'm a bit salty. I'm not watching him. Oh, there's someone in the middle of combat. Let's go. You can see that the 1% lows are not the best, 60, but it's still, you know, playable. You don't feel the hitches as much, and the averages are beautiful, 169, so a beautiful number there. So if you're looking for a high refresh rate experience, go in DLSS balance or performance is honestly like a great choice. You're not gonna miss out on too much. We're gonna watch it for a little bit longer. We're gonna make sure the averages stabilize, and then we're gonna get a final verdict at the end. You can actually see that in some instances the FPS goes even up to 200. I mean, it's as I said, it actually dipped down under 200, but yeah, it's a very stable experience so far. yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up there, you know. Honestly, I'm positively surprised. After a few games, the status do stop, so... Okay, that will do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was educational and informational for you. I hope it shed some light on the performance of this season, and maybe what settings you want to go with down the line. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.